This is Room 11's assembly on the UNICEF Outright campaign. The Outright campaign. UNICEF looks at innovative ways that children's rights remain protected. This year, the Outright campaign will look at climate change. UNICEF will look at how children's rights can be protected through climate change. The UNICEF right which relates to this year's Outright campaign is Article 24. Article 24 is that children have access to the best possible health. This is achieved by the government providing good quality healthcare, nutritious food, clean water and a clean environment so that children can stay healthy. Why is climate change important to know about? Well, climate change is when the temperature and weather changes over a long period of time. Climate change causes the earth to heat up, making cold places more warm. Climate change is caused by people burning fossil fuels, coal and oil, or cutting down forests.
What is climate change?
Video explains what climate change is.
Everyone's talking about climate change, but what is our climate, and why is it changing? Our climate is the Earth's normal weather over a very long time. It usually takes hundreds or thousands of years for the climate to change, but recently, our climate has been changing much faster. All these changes make life harder for our plants, animals, and for people around the world. And the biggest cause of climate change is humans, including you and me. When we use fuel like oil and gasoline, or remove forests to make room for cities or farms, we release greenhouse gases into our atmosphere. These greenhouse gases cause our climate to get warmer. Normally, when the heat from the sun warms our planet, some of the heat reflects back into space. But greenhouse gases act like a big blanket, holding some of it in. This extra heat can cause all sorts of problems for our planet, and the plants, animals, and people who live here. Our ice and snow are melting faster. Our oceans are getting warmer and higher, and our weather is becoming more extreme, with more heat waves, heavy rainfalls, and powerful hurricanes. Luckily, many countries around the world are working together to fight climate change. And there are lots of easy ways you and I can help too, like reusing things instead of throwing them out. Instead of driving, ride your bike or take the bus. Use less electricity, and eat food grown closer to home. You and I, we can make a difference. We can fight climate change.
How does climate change impact us? More ice is melting due to the Earth's temperature rising. This causes the sea levels to rise. Extreme weather becomes more common, such as heavy waves, rainfalls, and storms. How does climate change impact us? Growing crops become more difficult due to the extreme weather. You may get asthma, heart disease, or lung cancer due to the hot weather causing smog in the air. The climates are changing every day. We need to watch out for who we care about. People around the world could be dying any second, causing to the volcanoes, eruptions, and the storms. The weather is very not good, but we must take care of the planet Earth. We must do what's necessary and protect the people we love, making farms for our food resources and helping each other learn how to care about ourselves.
How can we prevent climate change?
Eat local, short food, walk or cycling to your destination. Use
Renewable.
water and wood sources. Cycling.
This is a video on Greta Thunberg, an activist for climate change.
In this morning's Eye on Earth, 16-year-old climate activist Greta Thunberg joins us for her first live U.S. television interview. The teenager made headlines last year with her solitary strike against climate change outside Sweden's parliament. She's inspired millions of supporters to rally in more than 150 countries. Greta recently sailed across the Atlantic Ocean in a zero-emissions yacht. She landed here in New York, where she'll be speaking at the UN's Climate Action Summit later this month. And Greta joins us at the table. Greta, good morning.
Good morning.
Glad you made it on the boat.
Glad you made it.
I'm wondering, Greta, what gave you the confidence to do that?
That's what I was wondering too. Yeah.
I don't know. I just know what is right. And I want to do what is right. I want to make sure that I have done everything in my power to stop this crisis from happening, to prevent it. And that I promise myself that I will do everything I can, and that is what I'm trying to do. And also I have Asperger's. I'm on the autism spectrum, so I don't really care about social codes in that way.
In fact, you called your Asperger's, you called it a superpower, a gift. What do you mean by that?
Yes, in some circumstances it can definitely be an advantage to have some kind of neurotypical diagnosis and to be neurodiverse. I mean, and because that makes you different, that makes you think differently, and especially in such a big crisis like this, when we need to think outside the box, we need to think outside our current system, that we need people who think outside the box and who aren't like everyone else.
This week's UNICEF challenge is to carry out 3 things which you could do to prevent climate change. You could do this via taking photos of what you've done and share it with your class team. You could draw a poster explaining what you've done to prevent climate change. But if you try and carry out 3 things which you could do to prevent climate change, then you're all making a difference overall.